Hey, hey you, wake up. You've been having some bad dreams. You've been dreaming about me tanking and playing with like a greatsword and stuff. Me a melee. You know I'm a mage. Always been a mage. What did look at me like, okay, alright, I cast a spell on you, alright. Made you think that I was melee, but I've been a mage this whole time. Fortunately, I don't know how to get the spell off you. There is one way. If you subscribe, the spell will leave you. If you've already subscribed, yeah. I've got to go. The police are coming. Don't worry, guys. I live in New Zealand. That siren you heard was probably just because like a dragon came too close to the township and the hobbits were getting scared, so don't worry about it too much. Anyway, I've been doing Garden of Genesis and I got this cool fire staff, so I'd say this is probably my best in slot fire staff. I'm sure there's better, but until I can craft them myself, this is the fire staff that I'm going to be using. It's pretty decent. So I've been running around in my favourite place in the whole of Arsenum, collecting these Azov springs. And yeah, no, I really like this zone. I don't know, I've got a real thing for like swamps for some reason, so I really like collecting Azov springs because Azov springs are always near like watery swamps. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, anyway, I've got to say thank you so much, everyone. I had 1,000 subs. That's like, I never thought I'd ever reach 1,000 subs, so that's pretty incredible. So thanks everyone for like subscribing and making that happen. I don't know how to say this without it sounding cheesy, but I do really do appreciate it. It's really awesome. I've just been working towards that for such a long time, so yeah, thank you. It's really cool. Glad you're enjoying the content. So yeah, we'll carry on. I'm enjoying doing the Ironman series. So I'm playing on the Mage, as you can probably tell, but I'm going to be switching up the weapons a little bit. Like yeah, but you'll sort of see me playing Fire Staff, Ice Gauntlet. Like right now, I'm doing Fire Staff, Rapier, simply because it's really good for running around and collecting things quickly. So yeah. In case you're new, this is a PvP Ironman. So it means that I can't trade on the trade house. I can't buy anything. I have to craft everything myself from scratch. And I have to stay PvP flagged the whole time unless I'm queuing for a dungeon, which means that I'll be like PvP flagged. Sometimes I forget to re-PvP flag, but yeah, I'm PvP flagged the whole time and I remember. At the moment you see me fishing, because as you might have seen from my last videos, I'm trying to get furnishing up. And I thought I'd be able to make some of the musical instruments give you a whole punch of XP for finishing, but you need snail slime. And to get snail slime, you need snails. So I was like, oh yeah, I've caught heaps of snails before, I'll come down. Yeah, I got to level 33. No snails. Not a snail in sight. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But if it was a competition of not catching any snails when you're fishing, I know what I'm doing right. So the chest runs are probably gonna be, our days are gonna be over, me and Leos, for doing the chest runs, simply because just not really getting the chest bumps anymore. Gear bumps. All of my gear score, or all of my armor has hit 600, and my fire staff is on 600, so I just aren't really getting the gear bumps anymore, so it's starting to become less worth it. So this was kind of one of the few chest runs I've started to do. One thing you might notice, if you're observant, is the magic I am wielding is that of the light magic school, not of the fire or the ice. Now, you might not know this, but I used to heal. I used to PvP all the time in every other MMO. In fact, I'd be one of those guys that if I had to do a dungeon to get an item that was really helpful in PvP, but I had to do a dungeon to get it, I'd still make do without having to do the dungeon. But then I did a year of PvE in Final Fantasy XIV with a group of guys, and like the content was actually quite hard to do, so I really enjoyed it. But during that time, I played a healer, and so I really got into healing, and I could heal content that a lot of people couldn't. And then I joined a PvP guild in Elder Scrolls Online, and I actually played as a healer for I think like a year or 2 years. That, and I switched between that and a mage. And so I've actually been kind of getting into healing quite a bit as well. So when I say I'm playing Mage, I'm probably going to be switching it up between Fire Staff, Ice Gauntlet for the DPS, but also maybe going to try and dabble in healing a little bit, especially in PvE. And yeah, and then I'm also quite interested in trying out Ice Gauntlet, Void Gauntlet. So there's a few things I wanna give a try. But yeah, here we are collecting some chests, leveling up my life stuff. As you can see, it's quite low. It's only like a level 7. So you can see here my gear score is getting close to 600 in each of the armor. By the end of the video, it definitely is 600 in each of the armor. So yeah, doing those chest runs just becomes less helpful. Yeah, so my two focuses right now are leveling up Arcana, as you can see that I'm trying to do here. Hence the reason I do go for the Azov Springwater, and also leveling up finishing so I can get those trophies. So yeah. So I did some reading around, and I heard that a good place for getting snails is that little lake next to First Light. So I came down here with high expectations, and as I pull in this fish, it's putting up a struggle. Well, hopefully it's just an incredibly strong Herculean snail. So I came down here and fished for a while, trying to get a snail, and this little thing's putting up quite the fight. Not catching any snails. So I came in on my little level 7 life staff. I think it's like a 518 gear score. But yeah, I'm so squishy, and I think I had 2 resilience, so this is what I'm dealing with right now. So hence I'm using rapier. But man, this brings back memories of healing. It was actually kind of hilarious. Kind of different playing the healer. Like in terms of positioning, a little bit different than the mage, a little more nuanced. Basically, because you really need to be near the group. And so if you're, but one of the things, so this is the first time I healed, so I was doing some kind of things that I picked up later weren't the best. Like, for example, when I got hit by that range there, I ran outside. But often the best thing you can do is actually just move right into your group. Like the safest place is just standing right behind your group. Because if you can stand in the hills, it means that they will find it really hard to hit you from range, because you'll be like immersed within all your other team members. You'll also be in the hills, but you'll be just out of distance of the melee. You just need to keep your little beady eyes open for when a melee tries to do it, like a big, you know, like shock wave on you or something, that you can just dodge it. But it was just little things I picked up later that in this run through, I mean, this was my first run through as a healer in OPR, and I've got really terrible gear, so yeah, there was a few tactics that I started picking up the more I did it, which I will try to highlight later. Also did some healing for the first time in Genesis, so that was fun. Brought back the heal vibes in the PvE, so that was kind of cool too. So I'm definitely keen to do, I think that's what I'm going to focus on until they buff the mage in PvE. I'm just going to try to focus on the heals. The heal set to start with. So it was a lot of fun though. It definitely brought back old memories of where I used to heal in Final Fantasy 14. And if I don't say so myself, I was a pretty damn good healer. But the problem with it now is that I don't have, you know, like I said, my weapon is a 519 gear skill weapon, and my life stuff's only like level 7. So in order to really heal effectively, I need to sort of prioritize getting that up a little bit. So we had some PvEers join the Iron Blood Guild, and they taught us about some things that as a PvPer I knew nothing about, like this little number. Yeah, I knew nothing. I didn't know that this really helps you get chips and orbs that really help level up, so that was a nice little thing they told me about. So then we do another dungeon, and I make a group, and this tank joins, and I'm like, wait, he just died. Where's the tank?
Well,
And here's the twist that no one expected. Dun 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 dun! Look, I'm going to explain this really simply, and so everyone will understand when I explain it with these simple words. He's Syndicate. But anyway, we actually kicked him and got in a new tank. Anyway, we got our resident house tank in, and I have to say, you know, I appreciated his tanking, that's the wrong thing to say, but he makes everything look so easy, and you don't appreciate what a good tank is, I think. until you get a bad one, or one that doesn't even exist in this case. So, yeah, but we had a good run through. But like I said, I really needed to get that gear score up and the level of the lifestyle abilities as well. Because at the moment, I'm just making it hard on my team, really. But you can see at this point in the game that all my gear score on my armor is now 600, so that's really good.
Wait, what was that locked?
Wait, it's just, yeah.
Has everyone cleansed himself?
I did.
Let's see.
Who's the idiot that didn't fucking cleanse himself?
Lol. Who was it?
It was
So we do Lazarus because I want to get the Will of the Ancients in order to get like one of the good life staff with blessed on it that I can use, and so we do that, and yeah, first try in Lazarus, and I get the staff that I need. So so that's the staff taken care of. Now I just need to get the gear score for the life staff up to 600 and also level up my life staff skills, because at the moment I can definitely feel that I'm not healing very hard. And of course leveling up my gear score at the Great Cleave whenever I can. So I just suck it up, put on a Void Gauntlet, chuck on the life staff, come down to the old level up your weapons skills spot, and get my life staff and Void Gauntlet up to 16. So yeah, took a long time, but now I've got a 590 life staff, although it's less than that because my gear score is only like, I think like 560, and I've got my life staff up to 16, so it's time to test this stuff out in a OPR. So now with my new life staff and my new life staff skills, I'm gonna be unstoppable. I'm gonna be like one of those healers that's just impossible to kill. You just watch. I really wanted to try out Void Gauntlet in the OPR, and oh my god, it was worth it just for this moment. That Void Gauntlet thing, the fucking guy with the muskets just rolling around like a fucking... You guys can take... I'm the fucking healer. Honestly, healing is a lot of fun. It's definitely bringing back vibes of when I used to PvP heal in the previous PvP guild, and and when I was doing the PvE. But it's definitely also really all about positioning, which I really appreciate, like much more so than the mage, because with the mage, if you get in trouble, you can just back up because you're like a single entity, you're on your own. But as a healer, you still need to, like, you can't just run off. You can, but you need to be healing the group. So it's very much about, it's very nuanced in terms of your positioning as a healer, much more so than I appreciated before. So I've been quite enjoying that aspect of it, because that's the part of the game that I'm really good at, is positioning. And so I feel like Void Gauntlet will work if you just have that good built-in coward mode, which, you know, it's kind of my thing. So yeah, I think it'll be fun. But, you know, don't get me wrong, I definitely want to be playing Mage too. It's kind of been fun healing for a bit. Like, for example, this is what I mentioned before. See how I've positioned myself right behind the melee? So I'm just tucked in really, really behind them. Like, I would never do that as a mage. But it basically means I've got two options, right? I can back up. So if the melee coming too hard, I've still got plenty of room to back up, because it's not like I'm in the mix. But I can also duck into the tails. Like you can see here, I get hit by a bow. Remember, I've got like 2 resilience pieces. I'm like weak as anything. I can get killed in 2 hits. So as soon as I get hit by a bow, I can just emerge myself in with those guys and stand in the heels, get myself back up, and then step back outside, which is what you saw me do here. So it's little tactics like that I'm enjoying, and just the general play style. But I feel like there's a lot of crossover between healing and playing mage, because it's all about big OEs, but rather than nuking the group, you're nuke healing your group, I guess. So yeah, anyway, I had a lot of fun in that OPR, and I'm definitely noticing that my heals are starting to improve. Honestly, I think I've just found the best places are where you get these Azoth Springs, and I think I've found my new favourite place, because this gives you high assault, which is what I need to level up Arcana, as well as the Azoth Spring, but then you also get some Ironwood, and you get like a whole bunch, you get the alligators, but yeah, there's just so much herbs here, it's unbelievable. You know, pretty nice area, really. So I've given them life, now it's time to burn it away. So I don the fire staff and ice gauntlet, and I do a little bit more mage DPS from the fire school. And yeah, so, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun playing on the fire staff. Now I've actually leveled up my fire staff, so I think it's like 610 gear score now. And it's a pretty decent fire staff. And you're definitely starting, I'm definitely starting to notice the damage difference. I'm still really, really squishy, and I don't have any of the traits on my gear, and I'm missing some resilience pieces, but I'm definitely noticing that my position in the damage tables is definitely climbing up as my gear is getting better and better.
I've hit.
One thing I hate, though, it's like this pet peeve, is spawn camping. People who spawn camp people's bases, so I just was trying to let these guys cap, give them yeah, Leos gave them a little, we both gave them a little dancing show, but Leos was just a bit more mobile. So I think I need a little bit of a change of strat in terms of the crafting. As you can see, my leathering, it's the same with mining, it's sitting between like 170 to 180. And I've got that winter festival gear that I can make, which is automatically going to be 600, and because my weaving is 200, I'm getting all this phoenix weave by just going about and doing my stuff. But obviously I can't create the leather equivalent, which I can't remember the name of it right now. Oh god, I can't remember the name of it, but anyway, can't make the leather equivalent, and I can't make asmodium from the mining because they're not 200. So I thought that I'm going to start to focus on getting my leathering and mining up to 200, so then I can get the match to make that 600 gear, and then focus on making the finishing to 200 and getting the arcana up to 200 so I can make the weapons. So that's kind of the new plan. Well, friends, that wraps up another episode, the Camo Chameleon Chronicles. Hope you're still enjoying it. Hope you're enjoying a bit of the mage content, with a little bit of dabbling and healing, a little bit of dabbling and fire. And thanks again, everybody, for the 1,000 subs. Greatly appreciate it. I really, 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 really do appreciate it. And I will once again leave you with the music of the Everfellas.